Everyone discovering that all these luxury brands are actually being manufactured in China is not only hilarious, but it made me realize that a lot of you guys don't know about Italian olive oil. Now, I'm Spanish, and admittedly that may make me a little bit biased in here, but as you may or may not know, Mediterranean countries that make olive oil have a little bit of a rivalry. And in my experience, there's one that's a little bit more specifically pronounced between Italy and Spain. Being Spanish and growing up in Spain, I obviously think that Spanish olive oil is superior to Italian, but in the US, Italian olive oil is vastly more popular. One thing that I remember my dad saying to me when I was a child was, "You do know that most Italian olive oil isn't even Italian, right?" And I was like, "What do you mean, Dad? What do you mean?" And he said, No. A lot of it is actually Spanish olive oil, and that's how you know it's the best." Now, granted, that was definitely some bias talking, but there is some truth to this. I'm not home, so this isn't technically like Italian olive oil. It is openly like Mediterranean blend olive oil. However, the same principle applies. If you look on the lot, usually it's like at the bottom on the back of the bottle, you will usually find a list of 2 letters which tell you where exactly the olives come from in that batch. And I believe in fine print, they have to say somewhere on the bottle like that it's a blend, right? In this case, you can see here, it says ITES TN. IT is Italy, ES is Spain, TN is Tunisia. So the olives, and quite possibly the olive oil itself, come from 3 different countries, and then it's just put together and bottled as a Mediterranean blend. That is also true for all of your Italian olive oil. If you start paying attention, you will notice, you will start seeing where the olives or the oil itself are coming from. The only thing they do is bottle it and label it in Italy as Italian olive oil. That also means that extra virgin olive oil blends are just as fancy, just as good as your Italian olive oils most of the time. In my opinion, if you find olive oil that comes from Spain, it's gonna be far superior anyway. But that's just my bias talking. Point is, everything's a lie, everything comes down to marketing. Labels are just labels.